Have you ever noticed how certain worries seem to stick to your head like gum to your shoe? No matter how many times you walk around the room or how many times you try to distract yourself, anxiety is there, strong and steady. And don't think that this is exclusive to younger people or those who have 1,000 commitments. In fact, if you are over 60, this restlessness can knock on your door even uninvited, sometimes early in the morning, when the house is still quiet and the coffee hasn't even been brewed. Today, I want to take you on a different path. Here, we will discover together how small changes that fit into your daily routine can transform that inner agitation into a real feeling of relief. The kind of change that makes you wake up without that tension in your shoulders or end the afternoon without your heart racing with worry. And yes, believe me, you won't need expensive devices, complicated apps, or manuals in English to do this. Do you know why? Because anxiety doesn't choose age, but the strategies for dealing with it can, and should, respect your life story. You may have heard someone say, "It's all in your head," or "just relax." But the truth is that more than a third of elderly Brazilians feel intense anxiety almost every week. That's right. For every 3 elderly people, at least one is struggling to take a deep breath and sleep peacefully. And often, the only way out seems to be the medicine cabinet. Let's breathe together now. Inhale slowly, exhale. That's it. Sometimes this simple gesture already makes a difference. But there is something even more powerful, and perhaps nostalgic, that can help: rocking in a rocking chair. Remember that old chair your grandmother used to have, which seems to know all the family's secrets? Well, it can be a great ally for those who want more calm and less tightness in their chest. Imagine, instead of counting the hours until sleep arrives, you settle into the chair, feeling the gentle rhythm lulling your thoughts, like a song that only you can hear. And don't be surprised if, after a few days, you notice that you are sleeping better or even laughing more at the little things. After all, if vinyl records are back in fashion, why not bring back a simple way to find peace? In the next step, I'll show you how this ancient ritual really works and how it can effortlessly become part of your routine. Let's go together. And when does someone realize that restlessness is not just a personality trait, but an insistent visitor? It is not uncommon to hear, "Oh, it's just a matter of age." But is that really true? Imagine Carlos, who has always been known for his wide smile and willingness to chat. Recently, he started waking up before dawn, feeling his chest tight and his hands trembling as he tried to hold his cup of coffee. The strong aroma, which used to announce peaceful mornings, was now accompanied by concern and an unexpected silence. Trips to the bakery became rarer. The radio, which used to play loudly, was left aside. Friends would comment, "Carlos is different," and he himself, deep down, knew that something had changed. It is curious to think that many times symptoms such as insomnia, irritability, and that knot in the stomach are attributed only to aging. Fatigue is not just physical, it is a fatigue that seems to live inside the chest. Anxiety, a word so often used today, still carries a certain taboo, especially among those who grew up hearing that they needed to be strong all the time. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to normalize excessive worries? But what happens when they start to steal the shine from the little pleasures? Science shows that more than 34% of seniors have symptoms of anxiety, but few seek help or even recognize the problem. That's a lot of people, don't you think? There's a technical expression called hypervigilance, which means being constantly on alert, as if something could happen at any moment. Pause. Now, imagine the energy consumed by this constant state of attention. The body gets tired, the mind wears out. and moments of relaxation, those that used to come easily, become rare. Carlos felt this in his fingers, which were no longer as steady as they were when he flipped through the newspaper, and in his head, where thoughts were spinning non-stop. You might be wondering, is anxiety really inevitable in adulthood? Or do we accept this idea because we've become accustomed to seeing restlessness as part of the package? It's worth thinking about. Who hasn't heard a grandparent say, "Nervousness is something for people who have nothing to do"? Between one laugh and another, the difficulty of naming what was stirring inside was hidden. Deep down, the question remains, is there a way to find peace again? Because the next stage of this conversation promises to surprise. Have you ever heard that saying that anxiety is a sign of weakness or something that people have nothing to do? Well, that idea still makes the rounds in many conversations, but it couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, anxiety is a natural response of the body to uncertain situations, whether you're 20 or 80. It's not a weakness or a lack of things to do. It's part of our alert system, like a watchman who sometimes overdoes it. Research shows that at least 1 in 3 seniors experiences symptoms of anxiety at some point, even though they're active people with lots of stories to tell. Think about Carlos. He was always a hard worker. He never liked to sit still, but he found himself overcome by restlessness when he retired. In other words, it's not a question of strength or busyness. He's human. Many people are surprised to discover that anxiety and sadness are different things, although they can go hand in hand. The confusion is common, but there's an important difference. Anxiety is that feeling of constant worry, as if something could go wrong at any moment, while sadness is usually a response to loss or disappointment. Here comes a technical term, but it's easy to understand: symptomatology. This is nothing more than the set of signals that a situation triggers in our body and mind. Like when we feel our heart racing before hearing important news, it's our body saying, "Attention," even if there's no real danger. The benefit of noticing this? We can seek the right care without mixing up feelings and ending up treating only the surface of the problem. Contrary to what people generally think, anxiety is not simply a thing of age, something inevitable like gray hair. On the contrary, it can be prevented, managed, and even alleviated with simple actions. Take the case of a rocking chair. In addition to relaxing, the rhythmic movement activates a response called physiological relaxation. It's a complicated name, but it basically means that the body and mind go into rest mode, just like we feel when we hear the sound of rain or the sea. The result? Less tension, more willingness to enjoy life. Now tell me, have you ever noticed anxiety in someone close to you, or even in yourself? Share your experience in the comments. Maybe your story will help someone else feel less alone. And if you're enjoying this conversation, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. That way, our conversation will continue and you won't miss the next tips. Let's take a deep breath together because practical solutions are coming soon. By the way, if the rocking chair could talk, I bet it would ask for a coffee and a break to tell its own stories. Stay with me, because in the next block, I'll show you simple and effective ways to find peace again. What if you tried to incorporate short breaks to take deep breaths throughout the day? We don't always take our breathing for granted, but it's a powerful tool, one of those that we carry around in our pockets and forget to use. Imagine, when you wake up, before stretching your legs out of bed, inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then release it slowly. 3 repetitions are enough to tell your body that the day can start without rushing. Many seniors report that, by adopting this brief routine, they feel more mentally clear and less tense in their shoulders. A trick to remember? Leave a nice note on the table. Breathe, you deserve this time. During breakfast, how about trying chamomile tea? Contrary to what many people think, it's not just for calming children. Chamomile provides gentle relaxation without that feeling of heavy drowsiness. To prepare, heat 200 milliliters of water until small bubbles start to form. Turn off the heat and add a tablespoon of dried chamomile flowers. Cover and let it infuse for 5 minutes. Strain, serve warm, and, if desired, sweeten with a drizzle of honey. The floral aroma will set the mood for a lighter day. An extra tip: reserve the first cup for a quiet moment, just you and the taste of childhood. This ritual can be an invitation to rediscover hidden stories. Many people have discovered that simply swinging their legs, even while sitting, can help when there is no rocking chair nearby. Sit with your feet flat on the floor, lift your toes slightly, and rock gently back and forth for 2 minutes. This activates circulation and brings a feeling of comfort, as if your body remembers being rocked. For those who feel tingling or tension in their legs, this movement provides immediate relief. It is worth trying it in the living room, while watching TV or talking to someone you love. Carlos now appears in the story. He used to feel his heart racing at dusk, that nervousness for no apparent reason. One day, curious, he decided to try chamomile tea before watching a soap opera. The soft scent brought back memories of her mother, and little by little she noticed that her chest seemed more open and that her smile came easily. Small adjustments may seem strange at first, but they soon become part of her routine, like changing her Wi-Fi password. It's a lot of work, but afterwards, it's all joy. Have you tried any of these ideas? Share in the comments which trick makes a difference in your day. In addition to breathing breaks and chamomile tea, there is another practical solution that many people ignore: writing by hand. Writing down your thoughts for the day in a simple notebook or making a list of small gratitudes transforms mental confusion into something visible and organized. Lucia, for example, started by writing down just 3 reasons to smile every morning. At first, it was hard to think of anything other than fresh coffee, but she soon realized that childhood memories, like the smell of baking bread, also counted. This practice does not require perfection, just sincerity. The movement of the pen on the paper, combined with the silence of the morning, calms you like an ancient prayer. For those who prefer a more active ritual, today's mini recipe is the calming sachet. Take a soft cloth, place dried lavender or chamomile flowers inside, tie a tight knot, and keep it on your pillow. The gentle aroma helps you relax before going to sleep. If you don't have lavender, fennel also works. The secret lies in the careful gesture and in remembering the times when grandmothers used these herbs to perfume drawers. When you go to bed, take a deep breath and let the scent bring you comfort. It's simple, inexpensive, and brings back memories of Grandma's lap. After incorporating chamomile tea and the calming sachet, Carlos noticed concrete changes. His sleep became deeper, and his afternoons were less restless. One Sunday, while playing dominoes with his grandchildren, he noticed that he laughed more easily and felt more present. The soft touch of the sachet on the pillow awakened a simple joy, similar to the one he felt when listening to old stories. For those who fear forgetting to practice, the tip is to associate the routine with an existing habit, such as breakfast or watching the news. Obstacles such as lack of time or discouragement can be overcome with small goals: 1 tea a day, 2 minutes of writing, or just smelling the sachet. These solutions, although simple, bring tangible benefits: calmer, better nights, and lighter family relationships. And let's face it, who has never felt like a child when looking for the smell of Grandma's closet? Try it, share your experience in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next content. Challenge of the week. Choose a practice and keep it for 7 days, recording how you feel. Remember, each step is valuable and, if in doubt, seek professional guidance. Soon, I will bring news that will warm your heart. Now, take a deep breath, feel the present, and remember, well-being is like a swing. It goes back and forth, but always comforts.